Because if he's the judge, where are you? Are you a judge?
No,
Yeah?
I'm definitely not a judge.
Well, you're also not the bailiff.
I'm going to have to think about that. I don't know.
I think you're DA. You might be the DA.
I could be a DA.
Yeah.
I can go DA.
Dumbass.
Yeah. That,
Oh, you heard it here. Get the shovels out.
wow.
What does DA mean?
District attorney. She's like
I was about to say divorce attorney, but I was just
Oh!
But
Okay, there we go.
This episode is brought to you by Factor.
Hello, everyone. Get your shovels out because we are going 6 feet under. This is a Fanatics and WWE original production. This is going to be part 2 of a stellar set of interviews. Our guest today, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
Woohoo.
Is Get Your Shovels Out, is that new?
That's brand new, man.
That's hot.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Like 15 seconds new. It just hit me.
Yeah. It also could mean a lot of things.
I mean, we could
true.
bury people.
Exactly. Intro to
Could
the
hide a
pod.
body.
Oh, we could, hey, let's really get our shovels out because
mean-
we're about to let somebody have it.
I like that anyway. That sounds good, man. You know, this is part 2. We did your show, and it got me to thinking. Our careers, although different, have had a lot of similarities, man. You know, I work with me here, but so I'm at WCW, and you know, I'm trying to get a pay raise.
Me and Mark.
Right, Mean Mark,
Mean Mark.
Mean Mark Callis. Thank you, Terry Funk. Anyway, I've been there 8-9 months. I'm just trying to get a bump, right? Just trying to get a little bump in pay. I ain't trying to break the bank. I ain't trying to make Cody Rhodes money.
Just a little bump.
Just a little bump.
Little bump.
Right? And they tell me, like, hey, you're a great athlete. No one will ever pay money to see you wrestle.
Did someone actually tell you that?
Yeah, Ole Anderson told me that.
Ole Anderson told you no one's ever going to pay to see you wrestle.
You're a great athlete. No one will ever pay money to see you wrestle.
I don't want to just linger on this, but what would possess a man, even if you thought that? Why take the risk of what if you're wrong?
Well,
That and what if you're incredibly wrong? Like, just I know Ole was quite a wild individual, but continue. Wow.
Yeah, so it's one of those moments like, okay, like they wanted to re-sign me. They just didn't want to. They wanted to re-sign me on the same deal. I think it was $1,200 $1,200 a month. I think it was something ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to pay. I wasn't trying to break the bank. I just wanted to be able to pay my rent. And you have that moment like that was such a big goal to get to WCW, right? And then to have to face that in the moment in a room full of, there's Ole Anderson and Arnett, Jim Hurd and Jim Barnett, all these guys, and you have to sit there and like, wow, and then have that moment of realization. And I think you had to have that kind of same moment.
Yeah.
You're in the WWE, but things aren't going your way. And it takes a lot of courage to, okay, I'm here, but this is not what I envision and this is not what I want.
Yeah.
To actually pull the plug and leave.
Yeah.
Right. And I had to do the same thing. Like I have a job, but I knew right away, okay, that is my ceiling.
Yeah.
And there is no upside to what I just got told. And a lot of guys, through my experience, don't have the courage or the belief in themselves to say, I got to get out of here. And you did.
Well, you're the courage and belief, but also part of pulling the plug and doing it and burning the boats and all that. Part of it makes it so you have no choice.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
That's
true.
the other.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if you're gonna put this out in the universe and you say it so that you're compelled to make it happen. A lot of our confidence as wrestlers, or at least in my case, has been a little bit of fake it till you make it, a little bit of
a lot of fake it.
a lot of it, a lot. But I'll always, always try to stand up and make it seem like I know exactly what I'm doing. And then you start to figure out a little bit. But it takes time. And I actually, leaving WWE is one thing. Coming back to WWE is actually a very similar situation. So I wish I knew somebody who was motivated by, hey, you're the best. And then you go, but that almost, when you don't bet on me, or in your case, if someone wasn't betting on you, Ole, it feels good to
Prove them wrong.
prove them wrong.
Yeah.
And not in like a mean-spirited way, in a way where you can just look at them and go, I told you.
Yeah.
It was here,
It was here all the
needed
time.
help,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was here. Yeah. So but a lot, as you know, as you both know, so much of it is luck. So much of it is timing. And then for me, I'm so lucky with leaving and coming back. I think the first time I was with WWE, I was always trying to do everything by myself. And I was surrounded by great individuals. You were there. You're still actively wrestling when I first come to the fray. Hunter's there. Sean's there. I'm getting in the ring with these guys. Great peers. But during that time when I was coming up, we were freshmen, and then they put us on the varsity team. It's the best way I know how to put it. We needed the seasoning. We had none.
Yeah.
And I think about Kofi. I think about Miz. I think about Punk. I think about Sheamus. I think we could tell you those guys are really good, but you know this, and every great booker, depending on which booker it is, it takes 2 years, it takes 3 years,
Right.
it takes 5 years. As Cena has told me, it takes 5. That's his number he gave me. It really does.
Yeah.
You can hit a home run every week, but they've got to see it consistently every
Right.
week. And during that period, I was just so siloed up and all about it. When I left, one of the things that I found was so helpful to me, and when I came back, I'm following the same strategy, is the people around you. Like find you a good crew of people that want to see you go up,
Yeah.
want to go up with you, and that's the luck part almost, is
Right.
being lucky enough to have people like that in your career who can really change it, and you can change theirs, and just being part of a team.
Yeah.
When you
yeah.
came when
Go
you
ahead.
came back, is it true that Vince flew down to you?
It is
Because
true.
that's kind
Yeah.
of
Now,
unheard
wait a
of.
minute.
Yeah.
Wait. Pump the brakes.
Yeah.
The old man
Yeah.
got on the jet, flew down to
Yeah.
Atlanta.
He did.
Dang.
Yeah, he flew down, and that's it.
And
Part
wrap.
I
two.
thought, hey, what?
Peace out.
Wait,
Part 2.
I thought, hey, I
He
thought I
legit
was,
did not know this.
I thought I was special because I got to go to the house, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, I was like, oh, they're going to be. This is double secret kayfabe.
Yeah.
I'm not going to Titan Towers. I'm going to the house.
Wow.
And what? You just gotta. I
can't-
can't believe he. How
Yeah.
did that go?
Well, a lot
Well,
of
obviously it went well, but
it ended up going extremely well. A lot of it had to do with our mutual friend, with Bruce Pritchard. I think at the time, the two trains of thought. Bruce had done some independent shows with me, and had seen a little bit of what was going on. It was making so much noise that even outside of the big bubble that WWE is, you almost had to go, what are the Bullet Club guys doing? What is this here? Why is this taking? And there's 1,000 people at this indie show, and there's 10,000 at this one. Just, he was seeing that. I think Vince was looking at it from the perspective of, I just need someone to wrestle Seth. That's really what he was. I think I need someone to wrestle Seth. And then the meeting, all I ever thought of the meeting, I was so excited. Again, somebody who said, never directly, but I was made to feel didn't value me, or didn't value me enough, perhaps. That's all I thought about in that meeting, was I want them to just to see me.
right.
There's so much that's happened. I've had a child. I've been out. I ran my own show. I've done some promoting. I've done a little booking here and there. I just want to see these guys. Bruce, I know and love already, but I want to see Vince, and I just want to have this conversation and almost say thank you more than anything. Thanks for being the house that built me. I learned so much, and I got to apply it everywhere I went, because outside of WWE, I was very unique in that I would apply these very pro WWE and very old school philosophies to promos, to matches, to production, to presentation, to everything, that it almost made me like a gimmick. in a way.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
having that skill set, which I was so lucky to have. But it's all I thought when we were there, and I just want them to see me, and I should have known. You're never smarter than these are the Jedi Masters. These are
Absolutely.
They got me very quickly, very quickly, and it wasn't even the money. It was just that word, and you guys know this word and how it dangles out there. But opportunity. Opportunity. And then not only do you hear opportunity, you hear like it's still a chance to show them. It's still a chance to, all right, you'll find out. Because this is one idea you have, but the night after, you're going to have a whole nother outlook on it. But yeah, he flew down to me, and I honestly thought it would just be a general like meet and greet, which is, I'm so naive for thinking. And Bruce is the one who walked me out. And I think I dropped my guard at that point when we were walking out, and I asked him, just what do I do? I had everything planned.
Right.
I knew everything, but I didn't. I asked him, what do I do? And he just said, I think you know what you should do, which is such a non-answer.
Right?
Like, buddy,
Non-committal.
Tell
tell
me.
me.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
Help me out. You got me into
please.
this mess. Come on,
Yes,
help me out.
you got me into this mess. And the rest for me is very much history. And to be able to come back and have just, I didn't see any of this. I think a lot of people look at what we did when we left and think, oh, there was this plan. No, the plan was to get people interested every week in what I'm doing. And I can do that with social media, and that's the biggest platform as I can really get at this point. That was it. And now looking back, it just seems so faded. And so you find your destiny on the path you take to avoid it sometimes. And that's certainly been the case with what's happened with me here. And just, I was,
But that meeting was done deal after they left. You were back in.
well, you know what always
Was
makes it a done deal? And you guys as a couple podcast, you'd appreciate this. You know what always makes it a done deal? When you call your wife and you just say the numbers.
Right?
You just say like, well, here's what it is. Like, and then you can just hear, well, yeah. So we're going back to WWE. Yep.
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so.
I think so. Yeah. Like,
Time to hit the road.
yeah. Cause I remember telling her like, she was really, she saw things for me that I perhaps didn't see myself. But I remember talking to my sister, and she just had the best outlook on it. But it was almost like it was almost said in a way a sister can say it. She just said, well, be careful what you wish for. And I thought, shit. Damn. Yeah, that's stiff, but positive as well. Like, is it?
Yeah, fair
Is it?
warning.
What
Yeah,
do you?
is
Can you
it?
give me a little bit more
Yeah,
here?
yeah, and then it was wild. It was just a wild situation. It developed so quickly, and next thing you know, you're showing up at WrestleMania.
Just
Not
showing
just
up
showing
at
up.
WrestleMania.
Just showing up.
Main
So you
event.
definitely went. You went from the outhouse to the penthouse
Real fast.
pretty quick.
I mean, it's one of those stories where it seems quick. As far as WWE goes, I was presented as if I never existed there before in a way. If that made I was presented as this fully polished, ready. If you didn't know and you were a young kid watching, you're like, oh, that's so cool. Like you jumped right in. And if you did, you were rewarded for knowing the journey. But it was the situation, looking back at it now, so many things were happening. I had 2 television shows that were on Discovery now, but Warner Media programming. I had to juggle that. I had to really weigh it out. Obviously, opportunity is amazing, but I had to really weigh it out. Is this a mistake? Right? They didn't see it the first time. They saw a little of it, but they didn't see it. Is this the biggest mistake ever? You think the first time leaving is the biggest mistake ever.
Right.
Coming back, my fear was like, this could be the biggest gamble of all. I had a good gig. I contrary to what you hear, and you guys know how the internet likes the internet, but I had a good gig. I had an executive job. I loved the Bullet Club guys, but evolving and moving myself forward, it was just a lot to weigh out. And again, it could have been a big. Had I gone out there and belly flopped in the pool, like, it wouldn't have hurt WWE at all. It would have been he wasn't. He was Little League all along, but Now I'm getting anxiety over it now,
that
and it's
gives
over.
me. I was about to
It's
say, like,
over,
it
brother.
We
literally-
already did it, you
it
know,
makes
like,
my stomach hurt for you.
We're good,
But
you know?
I understand what you're saying, though. You're doing TV shows and you're producing, you're doing all
Yeah.
these other things. And as everybody knows, with the WWE, there comes constraints that,
Yeah.
you know, your projects and all that are got to be conformed in there. So it's a big decision. Right?
This segment, y'all, is brought to you by Factor Meals.
Factor meals. This is going to be the Dead Man's Revival Meal.
Okay.
When you're burnt out, you need some food.
Yeah.
You need to recharge. What do you go to?
Okay. Oof. I think consistently what I would go to in this case is there's one place that makes it better than others, but rigatoni a la vodka with grilled chicken.
Ooh.
Yeah, I don't get enough pasta in my life, and there's something about it that hits.
Yeah.
You get like the warm jets feeling
Yeah.
a little bit, you know? Like
Yeah.
you're doing something wrong almost.
Yeah.
Illegal. It's that
Yeah.
But the grilled chicken balances it out.
100%.
I mean, it's like having a Diet Coke with it.
It's such an Arn Anderson way to look at it.
Yeah,
we
well,
got the chicken
yeah.
too. Yeah,
Yeah, you got the grilled chicken.
Yeah, Grana by my house in Roswell makes rigatoni a la vodka grilled chicken. Oh, it's
Okay.
great. Good times. Is this a thing? Is Chef's Kiss still a
think
thing?
you
Chef
that.
Kiss. You just made it one, man.
yeah.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that will revive me.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I might have to have that.
Eat smart at factormeals.com/Undertaker 50 off
And use code Undertaker 50 off.
to get 50% off your first box.
Plus free breakfast for 1 year. Now, so again, I didn't know he flew down.
Food, yeah.
Yeah. I
To
did hear
Atlanta.
this though.
Yeah.
Tell me if this is true or false. Did he put the number on a piece of paper
Yeah, it's
Oh,
and
that's
slide
so
it
good.
like some
Let me
Boss
see let me see this
move.
card.
Boss move.
So imagine there's nothing on this, right?
Right.
And then he just wrote a number.
he
This
wrote the number.
3 people could just tell me the number.
Right.
But he wrote it and he went like this.
That's great.
I saw you write it. So none of this, like it was just
Like
so,
he did was-
it was, you know what I really appreciated? It was old school.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I still have, I'm not even from that era and I kind of want to be. And I felt like, oh, that's nice.
like a gangster,
He
just
thought, yeah, very
boss.
gangster, like
Yes.
not saying it out loud.
Like the room was
Under
bugged.
the table,
Yeah.
just kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and also like these figures, you're talking about getting a little bump, and Jim Hurd and Barnett and all these guys. There's that period of time where you are talking about little bumps, incremental, bones here and there, and then there's that period of time where you're talking about money that's life changing. And how do you react to life changing money? And this wasn't the first time I'd seen something like that, but it's certainly you never learn
Right.
how to what's your
To
move?
react, yeah.
What do you do?
You got to no sell.
Yeah.
do you
You don't want to.
no-sell
You
it?
don't want to
And
be
then-
shocked.
Yeah, were you
Yeah.
overthinking
Like this is
that?
like in the hard way is like you almost have to. Like you're not that impressed, right? It's all like,
But you want to show gratitude,
yeah,
probably.
but
That's
and
the
then
thing.
it's like
You
all
don't want
going
to be
like a hamster
ungrateful
wheel.
either. So it's
Yeah.
it's. I think
would've-
especially like the male aspect of it is like I'll just kind of oh, but then also you got one life
You're going
to live here.
Yeah.
You don't want to leave this room with people thinking like what a dick, you know.
Right.
So like okay, but so that's I think what I said was like well. That's a lot of money. I think that's what I said, but also I'm thinking I shouldn't have said that. There could have been more, you know. Like, but again, it's like those situations that you watch movies.
That's
you
crazy.
prepare for these negotiations, then you find one, and only you're so unique in your moment. It's only going to be how you would deal with it, how I would deal with it, how you would deal with it. Everyone's different, and I always wonder. I think about my peers all the time when they go into these negotiations, things of that nature. I'm like, I wonder what he's doing when they say these things.
Right.
I wonder,
Yeah.
like, is there like a line? I'll tell you something funny. The final boss, The Rock, gave me some advice one time, and I so poorly used it. He told me in certain meetings in LA, and I thought this was great advice, but not how I used it. He said, a big mistake wrestlers make a lot is saying like, oh, I'm not really that interested in acting. No, yes, you are. Like you're interested in telling a story. That's what you do. You're a storyteller. He said something that you should always tell people is that you want to grow. And I thought, that's great.
Yeah, it is.
You do want to grow. Like, yeah. It's not great when you say it 8 times. Like when you sit across from a guy in a general meeting who has real questions. Like, so we got this project. You'd be great for it. What are you thinking? I just want to grow, you know? I'm just interested in growing. And then find yourself 30 minutes later going, yeah, that sounds great. I'm just trying to grow. To the point where in your mind you're going,
Shut up. Quit talking.
stop saying you want to grow. Say something else. This guy's going to walk away and be like, this guy, what's wrong with this guy? Like, is he a psychopath? Like, he must have said, yeah, but he told me. He's like, just tell me you want to grow. And I just walked into a meeting, the guy asked like 40 questions, and I just couldn't come up with another answer. So now I will catch myself. 2 is all you get.
2 is all you get.
2 is all you get
on
Two growths is all you
yeah.
get.
Yeah, it was
That's
a great answer, just poorly applied by me.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's.
Just want to grow.
I just want to grow out.
You have.
It's funny when you're talking about negotiations and selling yourself a little bit short, and you always second guess whatever it is, right? I remember me and Vince are sitting in Smith and Walensky's in New York City, and we're negotiating a contract as we eat dinner, and like this was I don't remember what the numbers were, but this was like this is right around the beginning of the downside, right? The downside guarantee, and I knew what the going downside was, and because I limited myself to outside projects because of the character, I thought that I wanted, just for a personal reason, I wanted the highest downside guarantee.
Yeah.
So I was trying to figure out, like, you have this battle with yourself when you're trying to come up with that number, right? Yeah. Like, man, I don't want to scare him off. I don't want to undersell myself. Yeah. And he didn't write the number down. I wish I'd have got that. That was pretty slick. But he hit me with the number, and it wasn't where I was at.
Yeah.
And I just went, I said, well, I was thinking, and I came right back with my number. And he was like, done. Oh. And I was like, I was like,
been thinking something else.
Yeah, I should have, like, man, I knew I was too low. Ooh. Right? Because I wanted a little bit of pushback. But when I was like, damn, I underbid myself on this. But anyway, it worked out.
Learn.
But do you guys subscribe to the thought, and this is something, you were here for so long and were part of the institution of WWE. Mm-hmm. You weren't just wrestling on the show. You were helping others. You were part of stories. You were collaborating with creative. You were dealing with partnerships. You knew about headquarters. You knew that some of the actual guys in suits walking around at WrestleMania and the Rumble. When you're part of the bank, I always say, well, I don't want to rob the bank then if I want to work at the bank. And I can tell you, as great as that sounds to someone who's on the side of WWE, it's so dumb as a wrestler. You're like, like that's where you got to talk to your mom or somebody and be like, what?
You have to to talk. Yes, you have to talk with someone who's not as invested in into that. Yeah, you have to have some clarity from someone else that's not invested in.
But I think it's hard too when you're a people pleaser. Like, you want to make people happy and you don't want to do anything wrong, and then it's hard to even enjoy those moments, and you're just constantly worried about everything.
I feel like wrestling, because you said people pleaser, wrestling preys on the people pleaser.
Agreed.
We are the ones who are hurt the most when it doesn't go our way. We're the ones so excited when it does. And then we're the ones watching those others who are maybe get a check types, whatever. And I envy that almost. Like, your energy is not as into this. I'm selling everything. This is that one bad promo into my career. Done.
That's all you think about.
Done. Right?
But
yeah,
that is the same thing that makes you great.
Yeah.
That you can play that mind game all you want, but the fact that you are tore up about missing a line in a promo is the same thing that will make you great. Yeah.
Do you know, I've never mentioned this to you before, but I saw something where this was WrestleMania, I think the streak had already been broken.
It's probably Roman.
No, it wasn't Roman. It was just you were doing your rehearsal for WrestleMania, and you didn't have the time you wanted to tell the story. And I just remember it was just a conversation with you and your producer, and I overheard it. But I couldn't believe how much you gave a shit. I couldn't believe it, because I thought, he's done everything. he is already, like, he's an existing Hall of Famer. Like, he has literally done everything. And then I've used that story as an example because I saw it. I saw it with him first. Then I saw something similar with Cena. Then I saw it again with Rock. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you never stop when you want it.
Yeah.
When you got the fever. That's what in my little group, we call it. Does he have the fever? Does she have the fever? Oh, she does. Oh, like everything matters to you.
Yeah.
You're not looking at it like I get plenty of those glasses of water. No, this is the last one. And I need, like, I just couldn't believe it. And I thought, it was really motivating. I thought, I'm glad that there's not a point you get to where you're not stressed completely out, trying to tell the story the best way you know how.
Yeah.
I love that.
I've always lived by this, like, never be content with anything that you've ever done. And not to go back to the opportunity thing, but it's always, any chance that you get, especially late in my career, like I was really trying to deliver in a time that, I physically probably wasn't at my best. So everything mattered. And, and I knew I probably needed a little longer to get to where I wanted to go and telling that story.
Yeah.
But, it was just, once you've tasted it, man, it's hard. Yeah. Because you know what got you to that point. And you just can't, you're right. You just can't flip it off. And
But somehow both of you always, like, y'all always hit the, like, pinnacle of a match, like almost just perfect. You and Sean, you and Cena this summer at SummerSlam. I mean, we were watching backstage. It was so dang good. Like, but y'all still continue to go top that match and go top. And I think it's because of that passion that y'all are talking about right now. Like, not being content when we're looking at it going, how can you not be content with near perfection? Like, I don't know.
I don't want to, like, use the word, but I think, like, because he kind of hinted on it, it's addictive.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, especially growing up in the business, that was always a hard thing to see, is some of the legends could not handle it not existing anymore. And they'd kind of, crash out, as we say today, and you'd see it all in front of you. And I always liked the ones that could parlay into normal life and normal career and maybe on the other side of the camera, because that is tough.
Yeah.
I can't, like, if you're Rick or one of these, like, guys who did it every single night and then all of a sudden
that's it.
Or even if you see it coming, like, oh, you're not, someone else is coming. They're on the way. I don't know. I think I got a good perspective on it as a kid because I grew up and Dusty was an old man wrestler already. He'd already had the run.
Right.
Dustin had him when he was in the run. I had him as, like, already the run. He had really developed he had found a good place in his life. And you see that's, I feel like, the hardest thing.
Yeah.
With our guys as they get older, with our girls as they get older, it's like finding a place where you still give, but you're not having to do that every night.
Talk about giving. Like, how cool has it been to be a part of, like, Cena's retirement tour? Because my gosh, talk about giving back and just paying respect in every single match has been the coolest thing to watch.
I think sometimes, as a wrestler, I feel like anytime we're telling a story, you think the world revolves around you in a sense, like, they'll remember this. What if we did this callback? And then, old WWE is like, no one remembers what happened last week, which is actually good advice because every time you go out there, you should try and remind them of who you are. But one of the things about John that I was so grateful for and definitely didn't think I would get the chance to do was I drove John pre-bus the whole time. So I drove him around from when I got here, and I was with Randy a little bit, but that's a wild ride. And and as everyone knows, God bless. And then I was with John the most of the time, which was also a wild ride, but he was teaching without teaching.
Right.
Just he'd sit there and I'd hear him talk to Joe Hickey and get the numbers. And then in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, I got to talk to Joe Hickey. And I didn't do any of this stuff till I came back.
Yeah.
And he said something to me in a promo that came out of nowhere. He goes, you took the playbook and you did it wrong. And again, we're like having this contentious moment in a promo, but I thought, like, he ain't lying on the took the playbook part.
Right.
I took everything I saw him do. And I tried to apply it as the moment I left here, which didn't take right away. But once I got in the infrastructure here, his general guideline for being a virtuous babyface or whatever, I thought, man,
Virtuous.
Right. And I thought, I this is a good line to follow. So the fact that I got to stand across from him and I got him to see me. That was huge for me. I need you to see me. Great, I'm your little understudy and I wanted to be like you, all that, but now I need you to see me. And I thought, wrestling is far more real than people think, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He won't until we get it done, right? Until we have that SummerSlam match. And I thought,
Y'all got
I'm
it done.
I'm glad I did not. The first thing I think of is like I didn't blow the stuff you taught. Like I didn't screw it up, right? I'll screw it up at some, but I didn't screw it up with you. And that was just a huge honor to be a part of. Huge.
We were watching it backstage, and do you remember? So we were sitting on the back side of Gorilla, the back wall, and it was you, then it was me, Punk, and Brandy. And y'all were deep into the match now. I mean, like, I don't know, like 5 attitude adjustments in, I don't know how many false finishes. Like we were like, you know, hook, line, sinker, like what is going on?
Yeah.
And then Brandy turned, she goes, normally I ask him like, is there anything you need to give me a heads up on or what's happening in the match? She goes, I didn't ask tonight. Now I'm really wishing I had.
It's better
And
that
I'm-
she didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Always
normally
better.
I was like, yeah, sometimes not. But at that very moment, I kid you not, do you not remember this? Mark stands up and proceeds to power walk. I'm talking like stomp, doesn't look our way, doesn't say, I'll be back, nothing. Power walks through the curtain in Gorilla. And me, Punk, and Brandy almost at the same time were like, is he? Because he'd come out the year before
Exactly.
at WrestleMania, and not many people knew. I did know about that one, but we're like, is he? And I said, is he about to do a run-in? She's like, I have no idea. And Punk's eyes are big, and we're like, I kid you, probably 4 or 5 minutes, he comes back through the curtain. I'm like, where are you at? He's like, I had to go pee. There's a porta potty through the curtain. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Like, we
I
all
love
thought
it.
you were about to do a run-in.
Oh, I mean, I'm a little older
then it was
now. When
just-
you get
but
that
you were
call,
like-
you don't know. You don't know where when you're in
That's
Gorilla.
exact-
Like you don't know where the closest restroom's at. So
Yeah.
when you get to call,
But you went through the curtain, and I didn't know like where the ramp was. It was funny.
That's
we
the-
all
you know
had
what
this
it was.
moment of,
I bet the porta potty was on the other side before you go out. So I had to hit that quick. I mean, because I didn't want to miss the finish.
But-
See,
That's why I was in a hurry. I didn't want to miss the
You
finish.
knew when
You were
you knew it was
power
time. I
walking
can
just
go
like-
now and get back
Yeah,
for
but
this finish.
you can't be messing around. You
But
know,
all
when
three of us
you
were like-
get that bladder like that. You gotta.
it was great.
Did you know about WrestleMania 40? Did you know?
I knew.
Okay.
She
I
knew,
did know, but
Yeah.
So we had
Oh,
a
we-
suite. That's
Yeah.
kind of what we do now. We get the suite and we sit up there and watch
like
the
that.
show, right?
Yeah.
don't know.
except Kaya, and she was ringside, and I didn't tell her.
So no one. I don't think you
Nobody
were the
knew.
only one
Yeah.
that I told.
Yeah.
And there's what 20
Yeah.
plus people in my suite, and I'm
And
like,
you were up there.
and I'm up there, right?
Oh man.
And I finally said, I got to go. So I get up and walk out. I really don't acknowledge or say anything to anybody, but I get up and then go down and we do the piece of business. And I guess like everybody was like, they were all pissed at me, like I was supposed to let.
No, you
I
gotta
wasn't
keep-
going to
Kaya
ruin
was
that
excited.
for everybody. Like I can't believe you didn't tell us. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, why would I tell you?
Yeah, it was
like
good.
that'd take all the fun. I'd take all the fun out of what just happened. But
Yeah, so we thought you were just going to have us back again that night, but you didn't need him.
No.
what? Big news. WWE and sports fans. The world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July. Meet your favorite WWE superstars, get your hands on exclusive merch, catch live podcasts, and interact with the biggest names in sports. Tickets are on sale now, and fans of the podcast get a 10% discount by using code TAKER10 at checkout. I got to go back. So we got to where we're at. I got to go back to WrestleMania 29, which I've heard from your end of it was kind of one of those days that happened that really let you know.
Was this when I got cut in Gorilla?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
The
you got
worst.
cut because me and Punk we went longer than we should.
I never blamed you guys though. There was a P Diddy performance as
Well,
Oh, geez.
yeah,
Oh,
but
geez. Let's blame that. We were blaming P. Diddy, put
I
it
don't
on
think
the
P. Diddy's
record like
gonna-
it was his fault.
I felt horrible because I got to see you a little bit in passing.
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
how disappointed and
Yeah, I was
hurt that you
destroyed.
were
Yeah.
that you didn't go out, right? And
I remember
Yeah,
you
just wanted to
saying
make that
something to me
walk.
about that, about seeing him, and you were, and that was the point in your career where you'd come back and you were flat for however long after
Yeah.
the match. But I remember you saying something like how God, I feel bad. Like I saw Cody and
Well,
he did.
When he told us we were cut, when Vince said we were cut, everyone had a different reaction. We're talking about how you react to the money, right? My reaction was one of the worst reactions. I think I wanted to fight. I was because we were in Gorilla.
Yeah.
And I
Right.
kind of knew sometimes you're too smart for your own good. I kind of knew the general outline of the rest of the show. I'm thinking, really? This is a 3-minute match with 90 seconds of walk. And I couldn't get off him. And there was somebody like, all right, we'll do it tomorrow on Raw. And there's like this false positivity. And I thought, well, obviously I can't and won't fight him. I'm just going to go sit under the stage. And that's where, and I was just in full gear sitting under that stage, which is MetLife, by the way.
Right.
Which is where we're talking about the John Cena match.
Yeah.
So-
wild. Oh,
Hey,
yeah, I think
full
I
circle
think,
moment
yeah,
right there,
I made
isn't
up
Hey,
for
you know,
it. I
you're
know.
like, yeah. I very much needed that though, because again, like that period of time, a couple things. You and Punk had gone longer than whatever. The times were different then. They were very, but also I'm pretty sure Total Divas was filming for the purposes that the match was always going to get cut. And I've asked Nikki
Oh,
about it, and
no
I've asked,
way.
yeah, to this day, like, hey, did you know?
Ooh.
And they all like, no. And I actually believe them in a sense that they didn't.
Yeah.
But I think, no, I think this might have
Little
always.
storyline for.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. And,
Ah.
and as a wrestler and storyteller, I would have liked to have known. I would have gone
Little
about
heads
this.
up.
Yeah, a whole different way.
Ooh.
You don't learn this until later and you get more experience, I suppose. But I did learn that a lot of what I was mad about during that period, a lot of it was fixable. I think I needed to fully pull the Band-Aid. I think I needed to, you say burn the boats. I needed to do that to figure out all the things I wasn't doing. Because as time went on and, working on our own alternative promotion and trying things, I realized how like delusional the wrestler can be sometimes.
But that doesn't take that sting away. Like when
No,
you
it
finally
never
get
will.
that little moment, it's like, oh,
No, it never will. I mean, even to this
Yeah.
day, that sets you in a place where you're still thinking about times and you're still and I guess it's a good thing in that matter. But that was WrestleMania.
Yeah, it was tough. So 94 SummerSlam. It's going to be Undertaker versus Undertaker, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I had taken some time off to heal up and do some things, but the whole summer was focused around trying to find the Undertaker.
Yeah, Leslie
Right?
Nielsen.
Leslie
right?
Nielsen.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. So, he was a riot, by
Yeah.
the way. He was incredible. So we finally get to DiBiase has the new Undertaker, and we go in, Chicago, go in, and Brett and Owen worked before.
In the cage.
Yes. Right
Okay.
before, which was incredible.
Yeah.
But they were right before us and went over by like 15, 20 minutes.
Okay.
We had 3 minutes to pay off the whole summer.
Yeah.
And it was one of those deals. It was just like,
And you're locked in. This
I'm
is
locked in.
94 times.
Ye-
Pay-per-view's cutting off if you guys screw
yes,
this up.
yes,
Ooh.
yeah. They padded, they would give, I think they had like a 5-minute pad between our go home and going completely black.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that whole almost year build up. We paid it off in 3 minutes. It was it's not a good feeling. My point to all that is it's not a good feeling. But man, I just remember the anger and the feel that I had because that was probably. Yeah, I mean, I'd worked with Hogan and I beat Hogan already, but this was like one of the really first huge build-ups in this whole process, and then to get ripped out from underneath.
for what it's worth, we were really happy when we got 3 minutes.
There you go.
What?
Back
For
what it's worth. I mean,
3
when we got
minutes,
3
you could
minutes,
get
I
a
was like,
lot
"Are you
going on."
serious? Are
Yeah.
you ribbing us?"
They would
Like,
they would tell you go home on the way out.
they literally
Yeah.
told us that though. They told us that at a WrestleMania. Had a mixed tag.
Was it the
Lay cool
Snooki
and
one? Yeah.
Yep, they told us as soon as you get in the ring, go home. I'm like, I don't know how to do that. I'd like to, but I don't know how to do that.
You got to remember, I'm like slightly adjacent to a lot of the Lay Cool stuff. because at the time I was dating Layla, and
yes.
I remember WrestleMania in Atlanta, which is this match happens. I had the best night of my life. I wrestled Rey Mysterio. It was the greatest night ever. But wrestling, you know how it goes: one up, one down, and then the next thing you know, I saw her like crying in the hallway. You know, just good old general public tears, and thought, okay, what happened? What did we?
Nothing,
Yeah,
nothing,
no, it was Morrison in this match.
Morrison
too?
was with. There was
Yeah.
a whole lot going on.
Yeah, there really was.
There was a lot.
So I have a bone to pick with you, and I don't know if
Me?
I've ever told you the story over this Lay Cool run.
Oh,
And I also
no.
learned a really good lesson in this Lay Cool run, which I share at the school all the
gosh.
time. But speaking of titles, so you guys saw the belt in half, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I often brought the belt to TV because someone would forget the belt.
I could see that.
often brought it.
Oh boy.
So
It wasn't me.
I would have it in my bag, and one title going through TSA is something where it's a big chunk of metal. Another one that looks
Sawed
like a
off.
hatchet is a whole conversation. And then when they take it out and it's the women's world championships, like, well,
I mean,
they split it because there's two of them. Well, what are you doing with it? I don't know. I don't. And you get to the point where you're like, I collect these.
I collect
right?
You
I
just
collect
make up
these, right?
something.
Like the guys who come to the show and they have all the. I collect these. But yeah, that.
sorry.
No, it's all good because I'm pretty sure like that was someone else should have brought it. But this other crazy moment, I'm sure you remember this, but we use this as a classic wrestling rules. I still like a good old babyface never backs up. And there's a moment. Do you remember when it's Mae Young is backing?
Look, I was scared of her.
Yes. But you
I'm
guys,
backing up.
You guys are like kind of like chirping, and I remember hearing her under her breath because she's just
Oh, I
going
was
for you.
terrified.
This is a funny segment. It's not meant to get to fisticuffs, really.
Right.
And I remember her saying, "You bitches better back up."
She called us sluts too.
Yeah, and I thought
Yeah.
that's a baby face. Like
Oh.
no matter the context, and it's 2-on-1, all that. The baby face doesn't back up, and I thought, what a lesson.
Oh, and
Like-
May chasing you like she
Yeah.
had just called us sluts and two little bitches, and she has that look in her eyes, and you know she's old school. Like she,
May
I'm like,
about
I'm
getting that
not
ass.
getting within distance for her to catch me.
That was the thing. It's classic. It's like, hey, if I make the tag, I make the tag.
Yeah.
Right? Stop me.
Yep.
You work, I'll shoot
Yeah,
around you. You know,
yeah.
like in the way I thought, I hope they know she's gonna swing. And
Yes.
you guys did it just well
We
enough.
literally went all the way to the railing
Yeah.
until like the twins were holding her back. Like
That'd
we
been
couldn't go
awesome.
any further. I'm like, oh, I was about
Yeah,
to put
you-
Layla
that-
right in front of me.
You couldn't go any further, and I thought, like, this is so great. Like, and still applying these rules to this day. I was happy.
Those are two of my
Yeah.
favorite
Lay
moments.
Cool was fire.
Thank you.
Lay Cool was fire. You guys had so much heat. You
Yeah,
know,
we
like
did.
on a live event when
Yeah.
some like music hits and it's and there was certain musics that hit through the night that almost keep a live event alive. All right,
No.
it's time for that. And when that stuff would hit, people just were so into it because you were so entertaining at taking away the thing they'd want. Like I remember, like with Natty, like really built Natty up, and then we'd like pull it away. It was just really unique. And I
was
was
fun.
again watching on the sides of all that. But gosh, like you guys, everything you were doing on TV was hitting.
No, I appreciate it.
It was like a run, you know, like everything was hitting.
Well, it was during the time too where you had to make it hit and try to think like we had
Yeah.
no storylines for the next week as far as creative went. We were
Yeah.
constantly out there like, what could we do to make them go, like
Yeah.
why'd they do that? Or
Well, this is my question for you because I'm really curious about this. I always assumed the best thing you could do when you were in the women's division is just get over to where you really weren't in the women's division anymore, where you were just a star. So, and that's kind of what it felt like. And I never an indictment on the women's division, but I tell people all the time. And when I was doing my little run in management, people would say like, I want to bring the women's division up. And I'd always say like, just bring yourself up.
Yeah.
It'll help everybody.
Yeah.
Just focus on you. I feel like from, and I could be totally wrong, but from your perspective, is that a job that you feel you needed to do, is to bring the whole division up? Because I feel like it's different. You guys had such a limited real estate. And the camaraderie has really shown over the years in terms of how that Divas area,
Yes.
like the Divas era was looked at, and like how everyone's kind of stood up for one another. I was curious if you felt it was your job, because I never know what to say when it's a woman wrestler talking to me and I'm thinking, I don't
Well,
know the answer. you
yeah,
know?
yeah. I think during our time we just had to prove ourselves so much to
Yeah.
even be on the card at all. I mean, there was only going to be one women's match if there were any women's segments at all. And I think it wasn't so much, it wasn't pulling myself up as much as people want to think, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I was always under the understanding that it takes two to tango.
Sure.
And it's going to take all of us to make any type of impact whatsoever to be on, any card, any given day. And so it was just, that was always my mindset. Like, we have to work together. Like, we have to.
You and your opponent.
Yeah.
I think it's the most old school thing ever, and I love you saying it, because now all the wrestlers who I've shared a program with, or Full Angle, or a storyline, the ones who really I admired and got a lot from were the ones that were also looking out for me.
You have to.
At all times.
Yeah.
They'd hear about what you were doing that night adjacent to the angle. Oh, no, that's not working. No, and I thought that's what this takes. You really,
It's true.
Then you get like linked to them, and when you're done with them, you're like, wait, no,
hang on, wait,
Well,
where'd you
you
go?
get spoiled, right? You get spoiled real quick when you got to
I
start
know.
training
yeah,
a new
you get
person.
spoiled, and then it's like, no, I liked. He was good.
Wait,
Yeah.
that was easy.
Oh,
Hang
man.
on.
Yeah, it had to almost be incredibly frustrating, because I got to see her, work and struggle and fight for every little thing, and writing for not only herself but everybody. It was like, oh man, just give them a chance, kind of, right? You're thinking to yourself, and
They eventually did. That's
they
all.
eventually,
I mean,
eventually you guys got a few more opportunities, but I mean, initially, y'all were told at one point that you couldn't punch
Oh yeah, or kick.
or kick. You got reprimanded for having a match that was too good,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
We had to go out and redo it.
That's almost-
after we had already changed.
That was you and Melina.
Lisa. Oh, well, Melina and I got in trouble for our punches looking better than the guys, is what they said at the time. And Jericho stood up for us, but that's when our punches and kicks got taken away.
it's crazy that this sounds made up, but I know it's not made
I know, isn't that wild?
I remember the brief period where the no punching, no
Crazy.
headlocks was such a bizarre.
and Fit would always just say, let it go for like 2 weeks. They'll be on to something new. And they
Right.
always were.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
If it was like, I don't know how he handled all of y'all, but
No, me neither.
he did
Bless
a
his
really
heart.
good job.
Bless his heart.
Fit seems like one of those individuals in wrestling that anytime you bring him up,
Everybody has
so
something
much
positive.
respect.
He went to bat for us.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
I used to I'd be listed on the sheet at live events wrestling, maybe Matt Hardy, or maybe wrestling. It could be a lot of things. It could be Jamie Noble, could be Charlie Haas, who knows? And then the next thing you know, it would just be Fitz music.
Yeah.
And I think like, what? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I remember he'd do the honors. He'd like put you over, but then he'd shillelagh you.
Yeah.
So it was like
he's going to get
He's
somewhere.
gonna
He's going to
he's
get
gonna
his.
Ooh.
Yeah. And like it was all about it. You'd see him
Oh.
over there in the corner. Oh, this is perfect. Boom, lay out. Yeah. What a
He's the best.
tribute to that's such a great we were doing, I'm sure you get this all the time. I'm sure you get this. Nothing is worse than on an interview outside of wrestling, interviewing wrestlers where somebody asks us the Mount Rushmore.
Mm-hmm.
So what I do with my Mount Rushmore is I say a different one every time.
Perfect.
And I'm waiting for somebody to go, wait,
Didn't you just say?
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
But one of the Mount Rushmores I started doing the other day, I said, here's a Mount Rushmore for the second chapter of their career, the third chapter of their career. What I mean by Fit is still giving.
Yeah.
That's his life's work. Hunter's still giving. Sean is still giving. You guys are still giving.
Are you ready to hold WWE history in the palm of your hand? Tops is bringing you closer to the action than ever before with WWE Tops Now. Highlighting the biggest matches and milestones from WWE shows and PLEs throughout the year. Tops Now is enhancing the fan experience by connecting collectors to superstars and spectacles that ignite their passion. Featuring stunning, event-exclusive photography, each card is made for the moment. And for some lucky collectors, the moment could be the pull of a lifetime. Along with serial numbered parallels, some Tops Now releases offer a chance at rare short prints, superstar autographs, and even pieces of the mat, gear, or other items used during the featured match. So which moments will you collect? With each card only available for a limited time, you won't want to wait to begin your Tops Now journey. Be sure to subscribe to WWE Tops Now mailing list on Tops.com. And follow Tops on all social media platforms so you never miss a single moment.
Man, we've covered some really cool topics. But I was just sitting here thinking about something that.
Oh no.
Well, you got there yet.
I don't know. I'm nervous for you.
I mean, this had to have been a highlight for your career, your young career.
Oh geez.
I'm excited.
Yeah. WrestleMania. No, not what. It
Oh.
wasn't WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, it was the after party.
Oh, I know
Muscle.
where you're going.
Muscle
Mania.
Mania. That was the best thing ever.
Oh,
that was one of my
gosh.
highlights of my career.
Do
Well,
tell.
What?
Okay. Well, let me set it up the best way. I know Santino, in his book, I think, or Jericho's book, somebody highlighted that Europe tour making fun of Santino for being out of shape, which people forget Santino was a shooter.
Yeah.
Judo. right?
Full-blown judo
Yeah.
shooter who ended up being a absolutely stellar comedy, show stealer. Amazing,
Yes.
so talented. But I got on to him about getting out of shape. Then we're going back and forth, and then Cena and JBL got a hold of it.
Oh no.
And then it became, well, why don't you guys have this bodybuilding competition? At one point, it was like multiple aspects. There was going to be lifting, this and that. Like this path of least resistance, we're going to go bodybuilding. The whole time of this is going on, I'm not thinking I'm the heel. The whole time this is going on, I'm thinking we're really doing this. Like, I'm not the only one who's noticed Santino. I'm not thinking how bad I sound, how arrogant. And it wasn't until Cena made the T-shirts.
Oh yeah.
Cena made the T-shirts, and it was the Mega Powers shirts. But I was Savage. And I thought, shit. Like,
You're-
I'm the bad guy? Okay, all right. But I also thought, I think everyone's going to forget about this. No
Oh,
way.
no.
Because WrestleMania, everyone's stressed out. And a lot of it, this was the hot topic for a whole Europe tour. And then 3 or 4 weeks go by and no one's talking about it. I'm thinking, no way. However, I still put a Speedo on under my suit to wear to the Hall, not the Hall of Fame, the after party.
after party.
Just in case.
Just.
But that even went weird too because the after party had been going long enough.
It'd been
Kid Rock was
It had
playing.
been going. Kid Rock was there. No one's remembering this. And then John has a room over to the side with Johnny Walker Blue going around. I'm thinking, oh, whoa, okay, this is cool. And then John Cone comes in the room. He's like, hey, they're calling you out there. Okay. I walk back into the ballroom and it's you who's on the microphone just going, Cody. And you didn't even see me. I walk through the crowd and you're just doing it. And so to walk people through what happened, Hunter and you PA a bodybuilding contest at the WrestleMania after party, and I am in my Speedo. Santino's not even in the Speedo. He's in full posing trunks, essentially a thong, full glutes shown and everything. And you're calling the poses and making little side commentary about the posing as we go. And my parents are there.
Yes.
And
This was great. You kicked Kid Rock off the stage.
No,
he was
I
hot,
know.
didn't
He
you?
got hot.
he got hot.
He got
Kid
hot.
Rock
I
got
know.
hot, man.
He did not
was
want the
muscle
naked
man-ish.
muscle men on the stage.
No,
And
it was between.
we
not
ruined
only
his vibe.
I
Not
know.
yes, he came. I won't say it's kind of politically incorrect what he told me, but he was hot.
Yeah.
And then not only because I was kind of watching him walk out of the room, and he's kind of throwing his arms up, and he was so pissed. And then I'm like, oh shit, Kid,
Yeah.
he was going to sing, and then I turned, and then the girl who was the singer for the band, now she's cutting a promo on me. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, wait a minute, why am I getting all the heat?
Yeah.
Paul's the one that came and said, hey, we're going to do this thing, right?
It might have been the Cody chance. It might
You-
have been the
yeah.
Cody.
Well, I mean, I
You had
realized
the
my role.
opportunity to give the whole after party Kid Rock performance.
Yeah.
And instead you opted to give them
And
an
we are so
inside
grateful.
joke of a bodybuilding competition between, at the time, he was Santina.
Oh no!
'Cause that
it was
night he had won the
Santina.
Battle
He won the
Royal
Royal as
as
Santina.
Santina.
Yes.
So I'm thinking he's had a
Yes.
great night. I wasn't on WrestleMania. So when you're not on WrestleMania and you're at WrestleMania, you have to have your best attitude.
Yes.
Otherwise you are going to pull your hair out, right?
Yeah.
But so we go on stage, we do the poses. I am booed every time. And I thought, I'm not in bad shape, but that's not what this is about. I figured that out. then Hunter throws to like a talent portion. And Santino does this Russian, like that dance where you like drop down. He's like kicking his feet. It's flawless.
Yes, it was good.
I did like a backflip off the stage, which wasn't flawless, but he did that. Again, I'm booed. And I'm thinking, what is this? And I again, it's all coming to me, and like I'm figuring out as we go. Here's the part where I realize, oh no, this might be the worst night of my life. Was Linda McMahon is in the front row. And Linda, I had all the respect in the world for. She wasn't at a lot of events, and when she was, you wanted to do your best.
Yes.
Linda's there. When you see her in the front row, like Linda's there. And she is the only one who's kind of clapping for me. And then she sees the room, and all of a sudden she just goes, like this. And she hit a double. She literally gave me like the double thumbs down.
Gosh.
And
that's great.
I like my stomach turned. I thought like this
Now you
is
start thinking again.
the worst night of my life. And again, I did not win. It was announced that Santino won a giant trophy which JBL commissioned, which had an ice skater on it, a football player on it, a basketball player, every sport you could imagine, every color you could imagine, and it was 7 feet tall, this
It was
trophy,
tall. I remember
which
that.
clearly stayed in the green room, and it would be amazing if we could find out where it was today.
That would be.
But it is not a highlight of my career.
Well, it was very entertaining.
The only thing that was said to me that night that made any sense came from Rey Mysterio. And he just said, and I couldn't believe it because I was legit, what a bad, I hate this. And I remember Ray goes, thanks for doing that for the boys. And I thought, oh man, that's why you're Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, right.
Now I'm going
I
to go
know.
kick my closet in my hotel room and break it and have to figure out how to tell John Cone that I did it. Yeah. Oh man, that was Musclemania. There
That
are
was
shirts.
great.
You want to know another rib about that? Everyone got a shirt. They're wearing them at TV, looking great. I asked for one from John. He gave me a triple X.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Yeah, I was
John
That's
fashion.
messed
I looked like I
up.
was wearing like a freaking like pajamas as a kid, like a sleepover. It was so Musclemania. And if you ask Santino about it, this is the crazy thing. Santino talks about it as if it was a rigid and strict bodybuilding competition to which he won. And I don't want to take that from him anymore.
mean,
like,
you
yeah,
can't.
that you did. You won it,
Yeah,
buddy.
fair and square.
Yeah, you got it. But yeah, that was Musclemania.
I love Musclemania.
I main evented the one and only Musclemania.
That's a lot. Yeah,
That's that.
that
I
after
mean,
party.
that right there is Hall of Fame worthy.
That is Hall of
Yeah.
Fame worthy.
I really thought it wasn't. I think I was so shocked that you and Hunter were so into it.
Well, I think Hunter was a little bit more into it than I was.
Well,
but
you got the party started, and then he took over with the posing.
Yeah. Once I christened it, he's a, he can be a little evil and stuff. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, yeah, Musclemania. It's everyone has their opinions on it. I think there's some photos of it somewhere. It's just
Oh,
so,
you gotta find
that.
those.
But you're riding this incredible high right
Yeah.
now. Every once in a while, you just need to keep. If you got to be brought down, you just got to go. Man, I did a job for Santino Marella at Musclemania.
Linda
Puts
McMahon
every-
double thumb.
double
thumbs
thumbs down
down.
from Linda
Double.
Mack.
Double thumbs
Not
down.
like one thumb,
No,
double.
both.
And then she was into it after that.
She was like, yeah.
booing everything I did.
Committed.
Like, come on.
She was committed.
Oh man, that was a bummer. I don't think I ever won her back.
That same night,
Yeah.
like this is it is unrelated, but it was the same after party. I don't know if you know, but it was super special for my dad. But my dad and your dad became pretty good friends.
I was gonna ask
throughout
about
the
that.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it was that night that they started talking about Palaka and him wrestling in the Armory because my dad was there. He has like
Yeah.
a picture still of he and a friend and your dad in the middle with just
Yeah.
a towel on in the locker room after one of the shows.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Right.
Your dad, you guys, the family came to the only time we ever wrestled as a trio, as a 6-man.
Yeah.
Me, Dustin, and Dream. The
Yeah.
only time.
Yeah.
Wherever the heck we were in Florida.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but I mean, your dad was special to our entire family growing up, and then
Yeah.
they just hit it off. And do you know that your dad was, he would send my dad ads of, he wanted a donkey on his land really bad in Lutz.
I think I do remember this. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
So he would find these donkeys, and he's like, there was an ad for this one real, I don't know what was so special
Special-
about this donkey.
special
There was a
donkey?
special donkey.
He was really putting it out
He
there,
was really
yeah,
putting it
yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Like he wanted my dad to go to Bunnell, which was near where they live, and check it out. And so, dad called and check out this donkey. But then it got sold before your dad could buy it. So, he couldn't just have another donkey.
I wish my dad did not have room in Lutz for that donkey.
Lutz.
Where would it have been?
I don't know. He said Lutz. I have no idea, but he didn't get the donkey because it was already sold and he wasn't having another donkey. But through the years, he would they texted back and forth. He'd go down to FCW. They hung out and
They had a special bond.
They did.
That match where we're in the 6-man. There's such a unique dichotomy between, because I get really, I feel like I don't fit in the 3 a lot of times because Dustin's so uniquely one way and Dream so uniquely one way. But me and Dusty are on the corner and Dustin is in there and he is hitting the ropes to where you can hear the corner ping. And he's hitting them so hard. And there's only about 300 people and it was only could hold 300 people. It was a nice, fun, that ain't what we're doing. And I remember looking at my dad, and even my dad was like, what is he doing? Yeah, this is what he does. Like, he doesn't have he's above 60 miles per hour at all times. And I thought, especially that run, like he wanted to get his workout, his sweat, he wanted the paint off. It was a whole thing. But then my dad got in there, and he circled with Trent Beretta for like 9 rotations. And I could see Trent was just like, and then my dad just goes, lock up. And I thought, what is this match? Like, this is what the styles are so uniquely situated here. But yeah,
funny.
that was the one time we were all ever in the ring together as a team, and your dad was right there. He was in the front row. Yeah. I never knew how they became buddies.
Yeah, they started talking at that after party.
He used to brag about your dad though, because I felt like he had like a connection with you because of the connection with your dad, and I think he really liked that.
Yeah,
my dad was really authentically, if he picked somebody, that he'd start a company with your dad.
You could.
You know what I'm saying? They were going in on some land together, something
some
like
donkeys.
Yeah, exactly, donkeys. Because that happened with Blackjack, right?
Oh no.
So Blackjack and Dusty went in and bought all this land in Florida. I found out about it when I was older, and I thought, well, who's got it? Who'd the land go to? Who sold it?
Right.
I talked to Bray, and Bray's like, no, I think you have your half, I have mine. When are we getting it? And Dusty passed away, no land. Blackjack, no land. Yeah, we don't know to this day what they went in on this whole to get a tax credit on farming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just financially irresponsible. But yeah, no, when he had his buddies, they'd go in on some things.
You could tell.
Yeah.
He told him some great stories, but you could tell it was authentic, and they did.
Yeah.
They just hung out and.
I got to go back to the land. So there's a big parcel of land in Florida
Somewhere in
that may be owned by the.
It's either in the Wyndham Rotunda, the Mulligan, that fam, or it's on our side. Knowing my dad, it was sold. He got rid of that.
He got rid of it.
He got rid of it. He took a loss on it, got rid of it. It's non-existent now. Because he wanted to be. We have very few left as far as the cowboys in the business. No.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, cowboy qualifications aren't, you can't just wear the hat. It's a matter of, did you grow up around horses? Did you did you grow up in Texas? There's these specific things that can, were you on a farm? No matter what it was, there's specific things. There's not that many like cowboys in a while.
There's not.
I tried, because when I was little, they wanted me to cowboy up, I'm from Georgia and they're all from Texas, but they'd always make me a new leather belt and punch the hole, and I'd get new boots and I'd wear spurs to church. They really were cowboying me
There's
up
nothing
as a kid.
cuter.
Right? Little cowboy.
Yeah.
And I wore the Garth Brooks shirts in that era, like 90s, the button and all that. So anyways, I'm coming back. I think it was Saturday night's main event. I'm coming back after WrestleMania this year, and that's my return. And I wanted to wear a black cowboy hat. And I thought, I'll get a vote. I'm going to get a vote because I could wear a cowboy hat. I'm from Georgia.
Right.
I'm a Rhodes. I could do it.
Yeah. No?
No.
Didn't work.
See, I went to the 3 guys I would go to for a vote. All 3 shut down. One of them, adamant, firm, almost insulting,
Offended?
shut down. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so Bruce wasn't the hard shutdown, but it was a shutdown. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. But
well, being from Texas, you kind of, I want to see it, but I don't know.
Looking back now, it would have been a brisk. We had about 30 seconds to get to the ring, hit somebody with something, and say we're wrestling at this point because this was NBC element. So yeah, the hat never happened.
That could have, yeah.
Maybe one day.
Brother. It's
maybe.
never too late.
Yeah.
Never too late.
I mean,
I'd love to see the snap shirt.
Yeah.
You're quite the dresser. I mean,
I do
seriously.
yeah. Who's your tailor,
How many
man?
suits do you have?
David Allen?
No, it isn't David. I need to get a suit from David. It's a group in Roswell called Anthony Mason, and they do all like the little, the logo on the sleeve, and your name's 55 different places. And as you've seen, I'm trying something out. It's not a cowboy hat, but we're trying these
Suspenders. I
these
like it.
suspenders out for the pod here.
I like it.
We're gonna go off of your viewers and listeners. If they hated it,
sorry.
I think they're both going to
Yeah.
love it.
then we're good. yeah. If we hate it, then it stays. But Group in Roswell does them, and that was a big thing when I left. Another thing I wanted to I stole that more from the McMahon side and the Flair side of things was, if I'm going to be the WWE guy on these mom and pop indies, I'm going to look the part. If they're going to think like, oh, he's the guy's taking the most money and taking the most time and all, cool. I'm going to look the part. I'm going to look very much. I'm going to try and make even, you hear about gimmick tables. Like I wouldn't do a gimmick table. And I saw that with a few others. I would, you can put mine in the ring. And then, or you can do pipe and drape, which is pretentious and all those things, but also
it's presentation.
Presentation. That's all. I watched Sting do the same thing, and I'm thinking, this is presentation. And also, most important thing to me is not the money in all this. Most important thing to me is meeting these fans who decided to come here and take a shot on me, and I'm telling them, hey, I was better than they thought, so I need to show that I am better. And the next thing you know, it just became kind of like you were talking about working the gimmick everywhere you went. After a while, it's no longer a gimmick.
Right.
You just believe.
You just morph into, yeah.
Yeah, you just believe,
It worked.
Yeah.
They believed. They still believe.
Got to keep them believing, Yeah.
As much as, what should we tell them not to believe? We still want them to believe.
Well, here's my crazy thought. How do you guys feel about Unreal?
The actual presentation and everything is wonderful, right? And from my aspect and my end of the business, I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I don't, everybody's going to say, oh my God, that's an old school guy trying to protect kayfabe. Look, I don't care if it's 2025, it's 1990, or it's 1984. Everybody understands what wrestling is.
100%.
True.
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
100%.
Ain't no big veil been lifted.
Yeah.
Except I don't want to go to see a magician and know how he's doing everything.
Yeah. To look at the ingredients there.
Now, and I understand that there's a huge part that like, oh, that's interesting. I want to do that. But there's still that aspect because you tell me.
Yeah.
And I'll give you my perspective. Everybody knows what we do.
Yeah.
Right? But when I'm in the ring, my whole goal, my motivation is to get one person, just one person to think, wow, Undertaker just clocked him.
Yeah.
I don't care what everybody else is doing. That right there, that was the real thing. So there's always the doubt.
Yeah.
Right. And again, I know there's the IWC and the kids out there, they're going to rip all that apart, and I don't really care.
I love how you said IWC.
I
love it.
Hey, this is from my daughter. I felt really cringe.
It was cringe. No cap.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, no cap.
No cap. It's all happening.
We just hit
in one-
all
I'm
the
gonna make
words
her
with
watch
her.
this part, and she
We
will.
just hit her with all the
she will
words
be-
in one sentence. Yeah.
Okay, that's everything that I know. All in one
Skibbity,
sentence.
skibbity.
Nailed it. Yeah.
So, but 6'7".
Give me 5 up high in
This
heaven.
is the most
6,
current
7.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's awful, and this is just to pop myself.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, that's my belief on it.
Yeah.
I don't think we have to throw it in people's face.
Yeah.
I think we've got too comfortable. I think we're too comfortable now in talking about our business, and I struggle on these podcasts too.
Oh, yeah,
because it's
right?
hard to talk. It's hard to talk and tell stories without without lifting it up a little bit. But I think we've gone too far. And again, I understand.
Yeah.
Everyone knows what it is what we do, but there's got to be a little bit of mystery.
One of the things you said that I wish more people would realize, and this is next to the point, but 1984, I think it was 1987. I just watched a thing where Dusty is elbowing all of the Four Horsemen, and the place is losing their mind. No one was losing their mind because they thought it was dead serious and they thought it was a shoot. They were connected to the characters. I feel like there's this misunderstanding, like, no, they thought it was all. If you're watching a lot of Flair, a lot of Dusty, a lot of Hogan, a lot of the guys, even if take it even back to freaking Bruno and Superstar, that's just big and fantastical in front of you. I don't think it was a suspension of disbelief that was selling the tickets. I think it was a genuine for, that's my guy. That's not my guy. I hate that guy. You know, there was this sense of it. But here's the challenge I've been presented with, and this is how I try to be positive about anything that's showing our cards, is something that Sean told me a long time ago, and I heard it from you as well, is you just said it in terms of making one person think, no, that was. So when I look at it, I try to think, what's the work under the work? That's what I try to think, because there's an opportunity now to tell them, hey, you guys do know everything, but do you? Right? And I think that's the thing that I'm like, okay, I can hang on to that, because I say it all the time, and we've said it once already. Wrestling is far more real than people think. Yes. And now the money is so
crazy.
out of it's, people are even crazier to keep that, and that's the spots. You know, oh my gosh, the
Lord
amount of ego and like, just, it's a beautiful thing in a way, because there is a real competition that exists. And then we do something
That's very
in the ring.
real. Yes, that's understated how real that
Oh my
is.
gosh.
Yeah.
To me, that's why there's two reasons why whenever it's, I don't think many people do this anymore, but when people say fake, I never even use the term. The things I always tell them is, what happens backstage is the most real campaign I've ever seen or been a part of. And then also that dad and his son, their emotions and their feelings, not fake at all.
Right.
They're having the best time, or they're having the worst time.
Exactly.
In terms of what we're presenting them. And to me, that, again, like when I look at Unreal, what I think is, what's the work under the work? Which now I'm exposing, and I have to find work.
No, you got to find the work under the work under the work.
But that really is the thing. Sure, guys, you're seeing it all. And to be fair, they've done a great job showing them all. But in the back of my like wrestler brain is, I'm going to show them something they think is.
Well, y'all have
But now you have to think outside of the box.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's the challenge.
And I
right?
think, and that there is that point now that now you have to be smarter than what the formula has been for all these decades, all these centuries of wrestling. Now you have to think outside of the box, because I still think the smartest people are the easiest ones to work.
Oh yeah.
Right.
They care the most.
They care the most. They're the most invested, and they see things in a way that, okay, this is what I have to do.
Right. Yeah. And they are under the belief they know us personally.
Yes.
And I don't mind that. I think the wrestling fans are the greatest fans on earth. I think they're far more educated than we give them credit. I think every connection I've ever made, I could never take it for granted, especially after waiting so long to connect with them. But like, they're also that part of it. I almost lean into the idea that you think you know me and you think you know my opponent behind the scenes in a way. Sure, yeah. I love the idea.
Yeah.
I hate using the word, but the kayfabe is still very much real. Like, well, you know this, and
I mean, y'all got two of the most viral memes ever. You when the streak was in it, and the guy's face, you know, like, and then you, the girl crying, the sweet little girl.
Oh,
I mean, obviously y'all tugged at those heartstrings, and that's the feeling you want. Like even when we're watching WrestleManias now, like when Steve's glass breaks, I'm like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like you want to, still have that without knowing everything behind the curtain.
Yeah, and I think to your point, though, even with Unreal, no one knows what we're doing but me, my opponent, and the referee. And no one. So as long as I can maintain that, even though and you heard something, nobody really knows, other than me, my opponent, and the referee. So maybe we can, find some magic. It's definitely a challenge, and it's outside the box.
You definitely have to think outside of the box at this point, which is good. I mean, it keeps you creative and keeps you, trying to be living on the edge of what it is. But
I know I have short time with you guys. I have to tell you guys both something, as far as you might already know this, but before we came on here and talked, you guys gave me a really nice gift. Really, really nice gift. You gave me this single barrel. It's from One Barrel, signed JD, Jack Daniels, and it's Dead Man Inc. It's got a freaking.
It's cool.
It's got a tag on it.
Got a
and
tag on
everything.
it.
That was your barrel sourced. I did not know that gift was coming. And now there's an imbalance in gift
No.
No.
You set the table at 39 when you came back, and you gave me the bottle of Pappy's.
I did give you a bottle of
That's
Pappy.
true. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's now that's signed. It's a signed thing. It's everyone on the bus. Matt right there, bus driver extraordinaire. You're probably gonna get into that a little bit. We're gonna get into that single barrel,
It's
right?
pretty smooth, man.
Yeah, dog's got to hunt, dude. All that's gonna happen. I did bring something for this moment, but I just need you to know right out of the gate, it's not single barrel. I felt like coming on your podcast, and it was never about drinking. It was about being together. That I felt was always your style, and I feel like it's been wrongly labeled. No, it was about being a group. It was about being a team. And geez, WWE this podcast unit is a team of all things. I don't know why I don't have mics and everyone else has mics, but
Give them some mics.
You don't need them, bro. These are props.
These are props. They take away from everything.
somebody
They're
told
a
me these were,
distraction.
yeah, they're not. They are real though, right?
No, they're real, but they're props. Like when I get nervous, if I forget what I want to say or I lose what I want to say, I start messing with my mic just to give myself a few
Something
extra
to
moments.
do, right?
Okay, now I got it. I got my thought back. Yeah.
How often are you losing your thoughts in these?
Oh, all
the time.
Man, I might have the best question.
What are you shaking your
no.
head for? I can see you peripherally
Okay.
shaking your head like,
bragging,
yeah,
no.
like,
Like,
Does it happen a
Bro.
lot?
oh,
he's fired.
wow.
Oh my God. Dang.
I'm a hey,
Yeah.
I'm a little punchy sometimes, but
No.
I mean, I'm not in bad shape for the shape I'm in. But
Well, back to the point in terms of you gave me this wonderful gift. Thank you. It will go to use. It will not sit. I really, really appreciate it. I had brought just a bottle of number 7 because when in front of the judge, you bring the number 7.
there you go. That's it.
But I think there's some glasses, right?
Oh,
Just
there you
two.
go. Just two.
Oh no, you're in this.
Oh,
Yeah,
nope. He
yeah.
always takes my shots.
If he's the judge, where did you fall?
I
in
have
this
never
courtroom
taken a shot in my
pantheon?
life.
No,
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I don't know that you ever were in a court, were you?
Well, we were taken to court over Diva Dodgeball.
That's seems like a flesh wound there.
I mean,
Yeah.
Did I proceed over
you
that?
were in there, but we only were able to go in,
So
give
many
our
cases.
case. See, he forgot. Like, yeah, so many
Yeah.
cases. You did. But as the divas, we were just there that week. We exited
This
as soon
is
as
the
we
Diva
pleaded our
search.
case.
This
the
is when
Diva
you were on the
search.
Diva
Yes.
Diva search, and y'all came
Yes.
in there and you
then
waxed.
we couldn't be in wrestlers court. We had not earned that right.
Who all was the wrestlers that you?
Oh, all of them. Trish, Lisa, Jazz, Gail.
And you eliminated all of them playing dodgeball.
all but one.
Huh?
I got all of them but one.
Who'd you?
I don't remember, but
And you went to court over this? You went to court over this?
well,
No, y'all
they
didn't go to
went
court. They
but
went to
Paul called us in and had us talk trash. Well, I knew well enough, like I'm not that dumb. I'm not going to really talk a lot of trash
Just
to
don't
these
give
girls
yourself
and all
too
these
much
people when
credit.
I'm trying to get into this business.
Yeah.
But some of those other girls were just, saying the craziest stuff. And I mean, I kept mine pretty clean. Like, I left 7th graders, playing out on the recess field to come. Think I was going to have a little bit of competition, but
Yeah.
something to. Then we were kicked out.
Dang.
This is what I live with.
Cold.
No, that was nice.
Cold.
So I don't know what your final
In the-
judgment was.
In the courtroom setting, when I heard he was the judge, I felt like I got so much more out of just the terminology, the judge, like WrestleMania 40. I kept saying it and nobody was popping, and then the judge will show up, and and just the way. And I'm thinking it means something as far as like he was balancing the
Right.
scales of injustice, as crazy and as deep and as meta of a pull as that was. That's what I thought. But where in the courtroom are you a lead prosecutor at this point? I'm asking you, like, where do you fall? Because if he's the judge, where are you? Are you a judge?
No,
Yeah?
definitely not a judge.
Well, you're also not the bailiff.
I'm
you
not
know
the
what I'm saying?
bailiff.
Like,
Yeah, 'cause
where
I'm
are
not
we?
really gonna judge.
I'm trying to
No.
find. I want to place you in
I
this court.
appreciate
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I'm about to think about that. I don't know.
I think you're a
who
lead DA. You might be the DA.
I could be a DA.
Yeah.
I can go
Yeah.
DA.
Dumbass.
Yeah. That.
Oh, you heard it here. Get the shovels out.
Wow.
What does DA mean?
District attorney. She's like
I was about to say divorce attorney, but I was just
Oh!
But
man.
There we go.
To the
Wow. Okay.
to the judge
To the judge.
Cheers.
and to the district
And,
attorney.
and to the executioner over
Oh,
there.
Yes.
well, there you go.
Oh, there you go. Oh, little gargle. A gargle?
Just so he knows I did it.
We
Okay,
covered.
yeah.
I didn't think you would bring whiskey and then throw it over your shoulder.
Never.
Dang.
Which is also sometimes the problem.
Yeah.
When you got the we were saying the ones who love it and want it, it's like, oh man, yeah, I didn't want to disrespect anybody, you know, and then you ended up disrespecting yourself, you know, yeah. What a mess, but yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, man, hey, we really appreciate you making
yes.
time. I know
Thank
you're
you.
busy, and you're doing this whole carry the company thing, and
Doing it well.
Thanks for slumming with us.
Yeah.
Oh, this
you
was
really
the
made me.
best.
You really made me feel inadequate as a podcaster.
What are you talking about? This was so much more fun than part
no,
one.
but are you kidding me?
Part one was fun, but this is it right
Well, this
here.
is yours.
You got a tandem setup, you know.
You're uptown, and we're on the other side
We're
of the
low
tracks.
rent. We're
Where's
low rent.
Steph at? Where's Steph at in this?
Oh,
part?
man, she
Wow.
up there.
Up
She up
town.
in Greenwich.
Yeah.
She Greenwich.
She up in
And
Greenwich.
Logan's part of it too, right? Is
Oh,
Logan part of
dang.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Oh, now
That
there it is.
outside-
Get the
out-
shovels out, yo.
No.
Old LP, Logan Paul, has he been on here? You've been on his.
No. Yeah, I helped
Yeah.
him with some ratings once or something.
Dang.
dude.
Dang. And you're just
No,
an
he was
outsider.
popping off. He was popping out.
I think he called
It was
you an
actually
outsider.
funny. No, it was
Yeah.
actually pretty witty.
Yeah,
When because we just started the YouTube channel,
yeah.
and he's like tired of all these outsiders becoming YouTubers. I popped on it. It was a pretty
yeah.
good.
Oh my gosh.
It was a pretty good.
When he did that first promo about outsiders, that was
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
You both would very much. I hate to put him over, but you like being in the ring with him.
Oh, he's freaking athletic, huh?
There's a. I feel like a room full of people. Sometimes we maybe take it for granted, or he could be check to check type people, and he's just got a. He's got a thing, and also you hear this all the time. He really doesn't have a reason.
Yeah. You don't
Yeah.
have to do it.
You have to have a certain amount of passion.
You don't have to do this, and just a good energy there.
Oh.
I think he's on the moving up, so I hope fans kind of get with it.
Well, he's
'cause-
got the it. I mean, he's got the
Yeah.
he's got that it factor.
Yeah.
which
Yeah, you wanna hate him.
especially in this age.
Yeah.
If you can make somebody, I don't think he'd even has to try, but when people dislike you to that extent,
It's like we were talking about Lay Cool. What a gift to have heat,
yeah,
or just make them boo. What a gift.
that is a gift.
And also, it ain't gonna last long these days. They boo long
So
enough.
much
They
they
start.
yeah, that's pretty
my,
cool.
That's my guy. That's
guy
my girl.
right there.
Yeah. It's like, all right, no. Yeah, no. Please
not your
boo.
guy.
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
But,
man.
anyway, we really appreciate you,
We do.
and thanks for the gift. That's my kind of gift right there.
True story.
You can
it's-
come back anytime.
Thank you so much. No, I
Yeah.
couldn't come without it. Thank you.
Thank you,
both very
Cody.
much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
This was fun.
and
Thank you.
congratulations.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, number
Double.
2.
Dad,
Double,
girl.
double.
Yeah, girl, dad.
girl,
Wait,
dad.
girl, dad times 2. It's a whole thing. Crazy. I feel like I so don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, right? And Liberty's 4, so you're getting into like K-pop Demon Hunters and a lot of
yeah.
like stuff that's going on with like the young girls. But man, she's just really smart too, which was always a fear,
Yeah.
like of mine, because I think she very much that's coming from Brandy's side, like very smart. So I don't have much time. Like I got to make my point, because by the time she's in like 5th, 6th grade, I'm
yeah.
out. I'm not able to follow.
Oh,
you know,
it
like,
was about 4th grade for us with
Yeah?
Kaya. Oh yeah.
oh man,
And,
mean,
and to
she's
the
smart.
current.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's,
Yeah, she's really smart. Mm-hmm. She messes with me like she has like the math now, and the way people configure and figure out math problems is different now. From there's a whole new system,
Sure.
and math was not my strongest subject.
Yeah.
and so she'll have stuff, and she'll say, "Hey, Dad, can you help me with this?"
Yeah.
And I could hear the sarcasm in her voice as
Oh,
she's
man.
asking me.
or like
Yeah.
Latin, she'll go, "Can you quiz me on my Latin?"
Oh, yeah.
Because I mean, you know.
Yeah, she takes. They have to take Latin in her school.
That's bold though. That's Latin. Like, like it's a
It's
dead
li-
language,
yeah.
like-
Yeah, but
Oh.
she does it just to entertain herself because she knows that I'm going to butcher it. Like, I butcher the English language.
I was about to say, or
you
she'll
can
be
only
like-
imagine
Oh,
what I'm going to
man.
do to Latin.
Yeah, it's bad.
I have noticed that I'm a buddy. I'm a buddy. Like Brandy's mom and everything, mama, but I'm just like
Yeah,
the buddy.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I dropped the hammer.
Oh please.
Yeah?
This is such a lie.
No, I feel
This
like
is a Cody lie. This is a Taker lie.
Yeah?
He no.
I rule with an iron fist.
Oh
feel like that
please.
is not
He even
accurate.
knows
Yeah.
when she says daddy. Like she's getting whatever she wants. She's 13. She just turned 13, and she can still go,
man.
Daddy. He's like, oh, what do you want? You called me Daddy, and he still gives it to her.
That's amazing.
Well, I do the same thing when you call me daddy.
Oh, good Lord. And we're out.
What?
Thank you, Cody,
What
for
happened?
coming.
There it is.
Where'd we go? What happened there?
Mommy, Mamacita.
I had a
Yes.
great time here with Mommy and Daddy.
Wait
Thank
a
you so
minute.
much. Thank you.
Oh, you called me daddy too?
Yeah, oh my God.
All right, let's shut this down.
Okay.
Thank you.